Hi everyone and welcome to Vlogmas Day 19. For today's Vlogmas, I thought it would be fun to sit down and have a casual catch-up with you guys. I asked you over on Instagram to send me any and all questions that you wanted me to answer, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have got a ton of questions here from you guys. There are so many different fun, unique questions that I've never answered before, so I thought it would be really cool to just sit down and catch up because Vlogmas has been intense this year. I said I wasn't gonna pressure myself at all, but to a certain extent, I think I have. I've stressed a couple of times and I felt sick a few days ago, but I still carried on with vlogging, which I'm glad I did because I love being able to watch these videos back. But for today, I wanted to just sit down and hang out with you guys. Let's get started. Best hangover cure. I think you guys are under the impression that I was hungover the day after Nico and I had those gigantic glasses of beer. I wasn't though. Thankfully, I have learned when to stop in terms of having wine or beer or whatnot, so I haven't had a hangover in many years. But what I have learned is that if you drink a lot of water right before you go to sleep, you will wake up less sluggish, heavy, and groggy. And if you really want to be sure, take a Biogesic right before you go to sleep. That lowers the chances of you getting a migraine or a headache the next day. Just know your limit. Don't overdo it. Don't drink too much, especially now where we need to be healthy and in the right frame of mind. Don't drink in excess. Did you get a full wedding coordinator or just an on-the-day coordinator? We opted for an on-the-day coordinator. We got Rachel from Events by Rachel. I'll leave her Facebook linked. She was absolutely fantastic. And the reason why Nico and I ended up getting an on-the-day coordinator was more for me. I'm a control freak. I like to plan things out. I like making schedules and files. So Nico and I were already in the process of planning our wedding. And because of all of the lockdowns and the restrictions and the quarantines, our wedding kept getting delayed, which looking back did help us in terms of planning because it gave us more time to really sit down and figure out our budget and what we wanted for our wedding. An on-the-day coordinator was the best option for me because the only time I didn't want to think about anything was on my wedding day. So if you're like me and you like to plan and you're OC, just get an on-the-day coordinator because if you get a full wedding coordinator, you're just going to be more stressed because you're going to want to be able to control everything. What are you having for Christmas dinner? Also, it's your first 24th dinner as a married couple. So true. I'm definitely sad because I'm gonna miss Mom Trina and kebab, but I'm also excited because Nico and I, in our 10 years together, have never spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day like really together. We're always with our families, so this is both exciting and new, and I'm looking forward to it. In terms of like what we're gonna have, because there are a lot of questions about like what I'm gonna cook, where we're gonna eat, I really don't know. It depends on Nico's schedule because I think he has a game on Christmas Day. So for Christmas Eve, I was telling him I totally don't mind just eating here at home, cooking something simple, but he really wants to go out, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. What was your wedding perfume? I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce it, so I will put it here. It was Nico's Christmas gift to me last year, the Diptyque perfume that I was just so in love with. It's very fresh and floral, and I loved using it on my wedding because I could spray like 1,000 spritzes and it wasn't overpowering at all, and it made me feel really pretty. I got a couple of questions about my tattoos, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think you guys would be interested in that. The most frequent questions were how many do I have and what are their meanings? So I have 6 tattoos right now. They all mean different things. The first one is a letter M on my right wrist. This is actually my mom's letter M. This is how she signs it, and I wanted to get it to honor my mom because I love her and we're very, very close. This was the first tattoo that she approved of because, well, I was definitely older. I had tattoos already and I asked her to design it. I've got a tiny cross on my left inner wrist to remind me to just constantly seek the Lord and stay close to Him and to always align my life and my decisions with whatever it is that He wants. And then I've got 2 tattoos, one on each rib. So on my right rib, I've got a Latin phrase, Dum Spira Spero, which means while I breathe, I hope. And I remember I found that phrase in my freshman year of high school during one of the toughest times of my life. That's when my parents were separating and I was being bullied in school. And I just remember that that phrase really stuck with me. So in my freshman year in college, I wanted my first tattoo to be that. It was what I would constantly tell myself when things would get tough. No matter how bad things get, I will overcome it. And it's definitely stuck with me and I apply it in my everyday life. And then on my left rib, I've got a lark, which is to honor my grandfather, my mom's dad. He passed away when I was 8 years old, but we were very close. All of my mom's stories about him just prove how amazing he was as a human being. He was really just such a light in our lives, and I wanted a tattoo to honor him. On my left hip, tip, I've got an ambigram that Franjo, Nico's brother, actually designed for me. It's an ambigram that says faith and family. It's just to constantly remind myself of the two most important things in my life, which is, of course, God and my family. And then on my right ankle, I've got a tiny little heart to remind myself to always walk in love and to do things with love. Whew, that was long. I definitely want more tattoos, and I'm gonna get more tattoos. Sorry, Mom. Are you bringing kebab to your new house? Love seeing your mom in your vlogs. Trust me when I say I love having my mom in my vlogs. I miss her every single day. We text and talk every single day. So I don't think that's ever gonna go away. No, I don't think I'm gonna be bringing kebab to our house just because his home is with Trina and Mom, and I can always visit him anyway. I don't want to remove kebab from a house that he basically grew up in and a house that he calls home. How do you feel about girls who are more clingy or more demanding than their partners? This is a good question. First of all, no judgment. Every relationship is different. Every person is different. I, however, have never been clingy or demanding of my partners just because that's who I am. What I can say is that if your partner has never given you any reason to doubt their love, loyalty, and commitment to you, then try to tone it down, because you know what? Sometimes clinginess can lead to an unhealthy, toxic relationship, and nobody wants that. And it's just going to be unfair to both you and your partners. If you find yourself being a little bit too demanding or a little bit clingy, try to check yourself. You don't want to be in a toxic, unhealthy relationship where you both can't grow and you both don't trust each other. Because if that's the case, then why be in that relationship, you know? I like this question. Hi, Miss Karla. I'm just curious, is what you're doing now what you've always wanted to do growing up? Definitely. I think I've mentioned this quite a few times on my channel as well. I've always wanted to do something that entertained people. I love to talk, so to be able to get paid to speak is definitely a dream of mine. This question is also really good. How do you handle rejection? How I see it is, if something is for you, then you're gonna get it. And if it's not for you, then that means God has something better. Try not to take it too personally, especially if it has to do with like your career or your job. Remember, your job is what you do. It's not who you are. So don't take rejection or a no as an attack on who you are as a person. It's not. It just means that whatever it is wasn't for you and there's something better for you out there. What's your biggest lesson this year? Fantastic question. I think my biggest lesson this year was to learn to pause and to rest. Being somebody that thrives on being super busy, it really wasn't good for me, especially mentally. So this year, I really made a conscious effort. I've learned to say no to certain things and projects. It's okay to not be busy. It's okay to not have 5 different things that you need to accomplish. How is married life so far? Was it hard to adjust? Married life is great. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I love it. I'm married to my best friend. We laugh all the time. Was it an adjustment? Definitely. Nico and I are still in the process of learning more and more about each other and learning to live with each other. And there are challenges. It has its ups and downs, but I wouldn't have it any other way. What makes you happy these days? Simple little things. A good cup of coffee, a slice of cake, a Christmas movie on Netflix, my family, my husband, kebab. I've learned to appreciate the little wins and the little joys in life. I got so many questions about this, so I'm just gonna wrap it up into one giant question. When do you plan to have kids? How many kids do you want to have? Are you gonna get pregnant this year? Let me just say, I'm not angry, but if I could give you guys a piece of advice, it's never ask somebody when they plan to have kids or if they're trying to have kids, because you don't technically know what that person is going through. Never ask a woman if she's pregnant or if she plans to get pregnant. Some women are trying and they've been trying for years. Some have infertility issues. Some just can't seem to get pregnant. So take it from me, don't ask somebody like when they plan to get pregnant or how many kids they want to have. That's just, it's not polite. But I will answer you guys because I actually don't take offense in this. I still want to travel with Nico. I know he does as well. There are so many things that we want to do before having kids, so we're in no rush. But if I had to put a date on it, then December next year we'll start trying. I also got a lot of questions about this. Now that you and Nico are married, what are the differences between being boyfriend and girlfriend versus husband and wife? Living together, I think, is the biggest difference and the biggest adjustment. We have had arguments, but we try as much as possible to resolve them that same day because you don't want to go to bed angry. There are certain adjustments and compromises that we each have to make for each other, but it's also the most rewarding. I love being able to snuggle up on the couch and watch movies and laugh and go on these adventures together. Hi, Ate Karla, do you work out even when you have your period? If yes, what workout or workouts do you do? Thank you. You are welcome. And yes, I do try to still work out even if I'm on my period. I take the first 2 days of my period off though. I don't work out because the first day is usually the day where I have the most cramps and the second day is my heaviest flow. So around my 3rd, 4th day, I'll start working out. I do lighter workout, yoga, weights, a little bit of stretching. Sometimes I'll do like a walk on the treadmill. Just try to find workouts that are lighter on your body. Listen to your body. I have had cycles where, my most recent cycle, I could not work out. My body was weak, I was tired, so I didn't want to push my body because I didn't want to get sick. What did you feel when you learned that you had to move out after getting married? I was sad. I do not deal well with change. Knowing that after I got married, I wasn't going to be able to live in my house, stay in my room, be with my family, that was definitely scary and I was nervous about it. But like other things in life, you do have to move forward and you do have to adjust. If you weren't a DJ or a host, what career would you be in? We're not talking in terms of entertainment because I would love to be a news anchor. I would have loved to have been a preschool teacher full-time, or I would have loved to have been a psychologist. There aren't enough psychologists in the Philippines, and I know that a lot of people are struggling with their mental health, so I would have loved to have been a psychologist. Did you add anything new to your skincare routine? Nope, I'm sticking to the same skincare. If you see my breakouts, it's because of my period. When I find a product that works for me, I stick to it. I keep it in my routine. What is your go-to Christmas food, drink, and meal? I love this question. Starbucks peppermint mocha all day, every day. It's literally Christmas in a cup. Christmas food, queso de bola and ham. Nico knows this. I am eating my weight in cheese and ham right now. And Christmas meal, my mom's roast beef and chicken potato salad. If you could pass down any pamana, any accessory to your child, what would it be? My mom gave me a ring that has this beautiful alexandrite stone on it, and it was actually her mom's. It was my grandma's stone that my mom turned into a ring, which she then had resized for me. So if I could pass anything down to my kid, it would be that ring. So it's already going to be 4 generations. I think I would also pass down my engagement ring to my son if I liked his girlfriend enough. Not kidding. What's your dream bag? Ooh, the Loewe puzzle bag in tan. That bag is so expensive, but it is my dream bag. And if I had extra money, that's what I would buy. What's your Christmas wish? Not to sound cheesy, but if I could wish for anything this Christmas, it would be for our country's future. I pray for the Philippines every single day, which is something that I never really did before, but now more than ever, I feel like we need to start praying for our country and we need to start doing whatever we can to help. Things aren't getting better. Our country has so much debt and there are so many laws and bills that are being passed that aren't going to help our country. So if I could wish for anything, it would be a positive change for our country, for our government, and for the future of our children and our children's children. Next year's elections are going to be so crucial, and I hope you're doing your research on who to vote for because we need a better future for our country. Nico's favorite recipe of yours? I think right now he loves my meatball pasta. What's your grossest personal habit? Shout out please, I love you. Hello to Let It Burn. Thank you for this question. Miss Universe. Probably that I enjoy purging like my blackheads and popping my pimples, which isn't a good thing. Do not pop your pimples, but I love to do it, especially when I can see that the pimple is ripe for the picking. I'ma pick that pimple good. Also because I love watching Dr. Pimple Popper and those earwax cleaning videos. Yeah. Last few questions because I feel like I have been talking forever, which I have, so there's gonna be a lot of footage to edit. What's your pet peeve about Nico as a husband? It's not so much a pet peeve, but it is something I've realized about him that is different from me. Nico can leave dishes in the sink and wash them later, which I cannot seem to wrap my head around. I am the type of person that after I eat, I will wash my dishes. I can't stand the thought of having dirty dishes in the sink, whereas he can leave them there unfazed, totally unbothered, and then come back to wash them a few hours later. I can't. This is a really good question. Tips on saving money for the future while still being able to enjoy the present. I think it's really important to just know your priorities and to align your decisions towards whatever goals you have. When I get paid, I always make sure that whatever bills I have, I pay for first. I don't want to be in debt and I don't want to have interest building up because I didn't get to pay those bills on time. I will then set aside money to tithe. That's something that I really believe in for my church. And then I will always put money into my savings. I think it's very important to have a nest egg in case of emergencies. The future is never promised, so it's really good to be able to have a nest egg and something to fall back on. But I always make sure I have a little money to spend on myself. No matter how big or small it is, I will treat myself to something. So whether it's a cup of coffee, a donut, a new lipstick, a dress, I always make sure that I have a little something to reward myself. It's also really important to enjoy life. Find joy in little things and don't compare yourself to others, because once jealousy creeps in, then you're never going to be satisfied satisfied and you're never gonna be happy. Favorite Christmas song? Too many to mention, guys. Anything by Jose Marichan, Michael Bublé, or Mariah Carey. The Trinity of Christmas. Would you consider yourself a Swiftie? No, I do love her songs though. Do you like Selena Gomez? I don't know her as a person. As an artist, yes I do. I do like her music and I do like Rare Beauty. Favorite Sex and the City character? Samantha. I'm not a big fan of the reboot. I watched the first episode and I was like, meh, it's different. If you had to be a Harry Potter character, who would it be and why? I love this question. Oh my gosh. I could be any Harry Potter character. Probably Professor McGonagall. I love her. She doesn't get enough airtime. She is a badass. She's super powerful. She's so loving and compassionate, and she's an incredible wizard. And the last question, what is your New Year's resolution? To continue to prioritize my mental health. I definitely took active steps in that direction this year, but I want to carry it over to 2022 as well. I want to be able to continue to say no to things and projects without having to feel guilty. I want to be able to rest when I know I need to without having this constant need to be busy or quote-unquote productive. I want to be able to condition my mind to not seek validation in being busy and doing 10 million things all at the same time. I want to continue to find joy in the stillness and just be the best version of myself mentally in 2022. And that's how I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sending in all of your questions. If you want me to answer any more, leave them in the comment section and I'll be sure to get to those as soon as I can. I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas and having an awesome day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye!